Hi, my name is Mike, and we're going to spend some time in SIERRACHART, and we're going to discuss the NQ futures and a few tips and tricks I've learned along the way. This information is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice. Trading futures involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional before making any trading decisions. Use this information at your own risk. This is a NASDAQ futures chart. It's a 1-minute chart from Friday, March 28th, 2025. And I'm going to show you how to add an additional symbol to the chart. Some studies that I like to use of the SIERRACHART market internals. So I'm going to press F6 on the keyboard to bring up the studies. And I'm just going to start typing here, add additional symbol. And we will select, let's select the NASDAQ tick. And lo and behold, it's already saved as a default. We're going to name this symbol SYMBOL TICK-NASDAQ. Chart region 2. And there we have the NASDAQ tick. Let's add a few more market internals that SIERRACHART offers us. Why don't we duplicate this, and we're going to choose the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ. Select symbol, and I'm going to paste, that's an actual symbol, and this is going to go in region 3. And I do want to actually select this. This is a double negative, right? It says do not update last bar with latest price from data feed. If you read it with that do not update in front, that would be update last bar with latest price from data feed. Since it's a negative, I'm going to say no. I actually want these internals to update in real time on this particular chart. So we're going to set that to no. I'm going to go back to the NASDAQ and set that to no. Now we've got two market internals and the NQ. I'll show you, we'll double click on symbol, subgraphs, display study name, and now it's going to show up here in the region line in the left margin. And we'll do the same for symbol NASDAQ, ABVDIFF-NASDAQ, display study name. Okay, so we're going to add two more. Let's duplicate this. Move it down, settings. This is going to be the TICK-NQ. And chart region, we were in 1, 2, 3, we're on region 4 already. There's the TICK-NQ, an oscillator that oscillates between 0 and 100. Let's duplicate ABVDIFF-NASDAQ. Move that down. This is going to be in region 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on region 5. This is going to be ABVDIFF-NQ. Apply. Okay. So we have these 4 market internals added to our chart. And I'm trying to think what else we might be able to add. Oh, let's add cumulative delta. Cumulative delta bars volume. We'll name that CD, and it says it's in region 6. Yeah, that looks like it went to the right place. Display study name, CD. It also shows the open, high, low on that. Let's take that out of there. Global, there we are with just the CD listed in the left margin. So I like this chart already. I don't know if that bar is visible, but it's gone now. So we have a 1-minute chart with all these different market internals. What can we do with them? I like to display the values of these internals. I like to display the delta of each of these items. There's always, everyone has talked about cumulative delta and how numbers bars are a big deal. And the delta that's reflected in the numbers bars and in the cumulative delta is the volume on the NASDAQ CME, the CME product for NQ or micro NQ, whichever you're trading. And I don't think it really reflects. I honestly don't think that this is my opinion, right? No one told me this, that this is from years of looking at the screen on a fast chart. The delta doesn't mean much at all to the movement of the NQ product itself. The NQ is the NASDAQ 100. So as an index, the price of the NQ product, the CME NQ, is being moved by the 100 underlying symbols. The delta is just chasing price and chasing what people believe to be the price action. So this, we go right into why people are losing traders. They're chasing price and getting trapped at every turn. I'm speaking from experience, mind you. But let's go into these other market internals and find out what kind of a game changer we can come up with. Let's add numbers bars. Let's display the delta for the sake of it. I'm going to go to F6 again on the keyboard. We'll select numbers bars. And, mine are going to look different because I've, changed them up. I've changed the defaults. Numbers bars, price, region 1. I actually don't want to see the pullback column today. Transparent. So I don't think we have a pullback column. Okay, so let's hit apply. Did that go? Let's F6 that again. Where did it go? ID 6, region 1, main price graph. I guess it's just too small on this display. So we have to, there we are. Okay. So we have numbers bars. And what I've done, maybe you'll like these. Let's talk about them for a minute. These bars are right aligned and left aligned volume profile. The orange represents net selling. The blue represents net buying in the delta. I'm not highlighting the volume point of control, but we can do that quickly with, I'm going to F6 again. We could do it with the numbers bars, but I'm going to choose volume point of control for bars. Volume point of control for bars. There we are. We'll call it VPOC. And hit apply, and it gives us a pink diamond. We can change the pink diamond auto coloring based on slope. Green means the slope is up. Red means the slope is down. So now we have a diamond for the point of control and the slope of it, whether value on the 1 minute bar has moved higher or value on the 1 minute bar has moved lower, will be reflected in the color. Okay. What else can we do to this chart? Let's put the value of the tick on the right side of the screen where we can quickly see it. When we're done with this chart, we'll actually be hiding all these internals, but so we're going to choose F6 again, and we're going to choose text display for study from chart. Let's add this. This one is going to be, let's call it text TICK-NASDAQ, and study in subgraph to display the position from the left. Let's do 133 at 50 from the bottom. It's in region 1. We can even label it R1 for, that'll come in handy later if you'll understand. Use text for non-zero value, no. And the study to display is going to be our symbol TICK-NASDAQ last. Hit apply. Now, the value of this is never in decimals, so we'll set the value format to 1. Hit apply. And it's also not very helpful that it's blue and black. We don't actually, we could try plus or minus. Let's say we were doing this just like we did with slope a minute ago, but we're going to end up with a green letters and red background. This is kind of stupid. So I actually had Lee from Emoji Trading write a custom study for me. I'm going to take this one out of there, hit apply. We'll add Lee's custom study, which is conditional text display for study from chart that he wrote for me. And we're going to call this text TICK-NASDAQ. And the horizontal position from the left will be 133. We'll put it in the middle of the screen at 50, 55. Let's make it 50. Region 1, study to display, TICK-NASDAQ, and we're going to choose last. Hit apply, and now we have a minus 32 on the right, which is the current value of the TICK-NASDAQ. And Lee's study, it gives us red for negative, green for positive numbers, and on a black background. And then across the top, you'll notice it says TICK-NASDAQ at the very top of the window. I'm all about optimizing performance on the Sierra chart because, well, honestly, I might have 100 or more studies at some point on this chart. Not tonight, we won't, but let's. We're going to remove the study name and all these other attributes. We'll make sure that alerts that this is disabled by default. It's always on for most people's default installations. I'm going to take this off, hit apply. So we've neutered all the attributes of this study. It's about as fast, I think, as we can make it. So we'll choose OK on that. Now, interestingly, we set the value of this to format of 1. Let's check on the value format of TICK-NASDAQ. I mean, it is already set value of 1. You may find that yours is inherited. And again, the value itself is decimal. It's not fractions. Let's move on with adding the value of the TICK-NQ below that. I'm going to duplicate this, select settings. We'll call this TICK-NQ region 1. We'll drop that to 45, and we will select TICK-NQ last. Hit apply, and we now have an overlapping 5. Let's move that a little lower. Try 40. Okay, we have 2 visible numbers that are not overlapping. Okay, what else can we do? Let's add, I don't know what the value of, I don't see the value of adding the actual, well, here I can think of one. Let's do the value of the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ since the open. All right, so the symbol for the TICK-NASDAQ is in region 2. Symbol for ABVDIFF-NASDAQ is in region 3. So let's do F6 again. Let's do horizontal line at time and select add, and horizontal line at time. It's going to be based on the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ, and we'll call this ABVDIFF-NASDAQ open. Chart region 3, because that's where we stuffed it. Input data is going to be the open of that bar at, I'm in central time, so this is going to be 0830:00. Stop time, we'll call it 16:59. And use a stop time, yes. We don't want that to go into tomorrow. I think that does it. Let's make this a white line, solid white line. Hit OK. Let's neuter the settings so there's nothing else displayed. Take that off, hit apply. So now we've got a horizontal line. We can label it ABVDIFF-NASDAQ open 830. In fact, let's just shorten it to open 830. We know that it's in that region. Put that on the right edge, reverse colors. Now we've got 0830 over there. Now, let's find out why this is going to be useful. Why don't we subtract the current value of the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ from the open value at 830, and then we'll track that on the top right screen underneath those other 2 numbers. So let's do a study subtract study subgraph subtract difference, add, and settings, and this will be the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ since open. And we can put this in region 3 with the other item. Value is going to be 1. We're going to hide it. The input study will be ABVDIFF-NASDAQ last, and the input study 2 is going to be the open, ABVDIFF-NASDAQ open, and the line. Okay, this is going to give us a value of the current value. Well, we'll see. Let's keep going here. We're going to subtract this. Let's just do another text display for study from chart. I'm going to duplicate this, TICK-NQ, settings, text, ABVDIFF-NASDAQ since open. And we'll drop this 30 from the bottom of the screen. The study to display is going to be the value of this guy, which is the difference. And let's see what we get up there. We are 25,553 short in the NASDAQ exchange. I think that sounds about right for Friday, because my observation was, even though price was going higher at the open, it was going higher and sideways. I think the market makers are trying to get themselves out from under all the selling so they could flip out of it and then get short. So price was going sideways to up for quite a few minutes during the open, but the underlying, the internals were all short. You'll see how this plays out. So that's a pretty big number. I don't know if we could put a comment in there. I've never tried. I don't want decimals. Large integer with suffix, 25. Let's do that. Let's say 25K short. Let's do one also. So that is for the NASDAQ. We can also do the NQ. So the NASDAQ is the entire exchange. The NQ is just the NASDAQ 100. We can put a prefix on this. I'm going to call it NAS. You'll see how this is going to work later. So that's NAS since open. Let's do the same thing for the next. Let's duplicate that horizontal line. Move it down. We'll choose settings, ABVDIFF-NQ since open. And it's going to be based on symbol ABVDIFF-NQ, 830. There's nothing else we need to change here. Select OK. New to this. This is also an integer. And all the rest of this looks pretty good. So we have a white line, open 830, and it's going to go into region. Where do we put that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Region 6. Let's see if it lands. That's cumulative delta. Chart region 5. There we are. It's in the correct region. And let's do the delta on that, the difference of ABVDIFF-NQ since the open. Duplicate, move down, settings. That was in region. It's not important what region it goes in. I just like to keep them organized together. This is going to be based on, we can leave that at main price graph, but we're going to choose the two studies. This is going to be ABVDIFF-NQ last, and the input study 1 is going to be the ABVDIFF-NQ horizontal line at time at open. NQ open. Did I not rename this one? Let's go back and rename. Oh, I did. This is correct. It's this label that's goofed up. There we are. ABVDIFF-NQ since open. And now we've got a value that's hidden. And let's put the text up there. Duplicate the text, move this down, settings, text ABVDIFF-NQ, since open, and we're going to name this NQ. Study to display is going to be ABVDIFF-NQ since open and diff and apply. We need to move it down to 20, and voila. You can see both the NASDAQ exchange, the volume in the NASDAQ exchange and the volume of the NASDAQ 100 are both short at 8:40 a.m. on Friday. Let's nip this video. Let's bring it to a close, and we'll do a second video in this series. I'm going to choose OK, choose apply. And in fact, let's hide each of these. I'll show you what the end result is after hiding all these studies. Go back to F6. Text we're going to keep. The diff since open, hidden, and Q since open, hidden. The hidden. Starting to hide things here. Text, VPOC, numbers bars, CD. Hide that. Why aren't more things being hidden? Symbol ABVDIFF-NASDAQ. Okay. Hide that. Hide the tick. Hide the ABVDIFF-NASDAQ, and hide this tick. Now we're just going to be left with the numbers bars on the chart and some market internals. One is the actual beloved NASDAQ tick. This is the NQ tick. The delta of all the volume on the NASDAQ exchange was 25,000 short. And the volume of the NQ, 5,000 short. There we are. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give a thumbs up, and see you in the next video.